What's up, guys? Sleepz here with another episode of my Journey to an Ultimate Team. We're going to start this episode off with some SBCs. I'll be honest, I'll tell you guys right now, there's not that much gameplay in this episode, mainly because I actually kind of fell behind on some SBCs, and I also have rewards to open in this episode, and then I ended up having another Footman's SBC to do. So we're starting this episode off with some of the SBCs, and then we'll end the episode off with a couple more. So you see here, we're starting off with the Daily Footman's SBC. Of course, we're going to do that. And then we're also going to do this week's marquee matchups. Now, usually when I do these, I try to not have to spend a lot of coins. But for this time around, I made a little bit of an exception. And the most coins I spent is for this SBC that you're seeing right now. Buying some of these players were quite expensive. The Coventry ones, I think I had to spend like 2,000 to 3,000 on each player, and I don't know how you pronounce the other club name. It's either like Wickham or Wycombe, I'm not sure, but I had to buy one of those guys, and that cost me about 6,000 or 7,000 coins. So that was a little bit pricey. I normally would never spend that many coins, but with how good the team of the week is with Suarez and Neymar in there, I was like, you know what? I really want as many packs as possible, so I'm just gonna spend the coins and go ahead and open up some packs. Other than that, I did not spend any coins on the last SBC you guys just saw. This Milan one, I didn't have to do this one either, even though this one was kind of a pain because you had to have players from only 4 clubs, and I really didn't want to use so many players from decent clubs. But anyway, the other SBC that I spent coins on was this one, and it was inexpensive though. I had to buy one Real Madrid player. I did not have a Real Madrid player, but this one literally didn't hurt the pockets at all. I only had to spend about 900 coins on the center back Vallejo, so not a big deal there. But what really stung was spending all the coins on those silvers and bronzes because they're terrible, and it's just people price fixing because of course the players are in demand, and I'm a sucker and I really wanted these packs. So hopefully spending those coins will pay out. We spent around like maybe, I don't know, 12,000 coins possibly, so it's not too much, but of course, it's a lot more than I would normally spend. We have ourselves rare Electrum players packs, though. We have like a couple of other decent, some of those like small player packs with like variations of rares and a couple silvers in that. So they're like decent packs. I'm not going to regret it so far. So in the first pack, we don't get anything great. This was the worst one. We only get one rare, and you saw there's even like bronzes and silvers in there, so I wasn't expecting too much. The next one, small prime gold players pack, and I think this one has 2 rares, and it was like a little bit similar to the last one with a couple of silvers in there at the very least. And inside of this one, we don't get anything great. We just get Sansone, which he's not the worst player to pack because he is actually pretty useful for some of the SBCs that require high chemistry in multiple leagues because he is Italian and plays in La Liga. So moving on to this next pack, guys, this is the last of the, I guess, quote-unquote bad packs, even though I don't think any of these were particularly bad as like far as quality, even though our pack luck isn't great. And in this one, we do get Çalhanoğlu, who looks absolutely terrible, 69 pace left mid. I really miss when this card was playing for Bayern Leverkusen and he was a cam. It was a very decent card. Now moving on to the good one, starting off with this prime Electrum players pack, and you guys can tell as soon as it came out, it wasn't a nice fat pack, so you know there's no billboard, certainly not a walkout or inform or anything like that in there. We do get daily blend, 80 overall. I'm definitely going to be storing. Basically, the rule of thumb I'm doing while Footmas is going on is I'm keeping like all the 80 rares just in case there's an SBC I'm tempted in doing. Even though the player SBCs, I'm most likely not going to do any of them. I was really considering Paulinho, but I'm just not sure. It's like so early in FIFA, and a lot of these Footman's players that you can do in these SBCs, there's just a good chance that they're going to end up with some sort of special card that's tradable by the end of the year. So that's why I'm just so hesitant to pull the trigger on any of these guys. So anyway, moving on to this last rare Electrum players pack, and you guys see that our pack luck was absolutely terrible. Not a single boards player out of all of those packs was very disappointing to say the least, and I'm gonna say that it probably wasn't worth spending the coins on those bronze and silvers after we saw how this ended up turning out. So we're gonna store all that. Maybe we can sell some of those silvers on, get some of our coins back, and move on to a quick signing, because if there's one thing that I hate about the La Liga team, it is Asenjo. He is like such a dodgy keeper. I really have no confidence in him. And to be honest, Oblak's stats don't look all that great for an 88 overall. I mean, I think he only has like 84 diving and reflexes, which seems a little bit on the low side. His positioning and handling is pretty good, but we'll see how he plays. If he doesn't end up doing all that well, maybe later on down the road we'll get Ter Stegen or possibly like a special version of Ter Stegen. That's the one I'm leaning towards the most. But yeah, we're going to just try out Oblak. He's 88 overall. Maybe he can perform well Martial, but Asenjo had to go because he was just make some, honestly, it just felt like an accident waiting to happen. So I'm pretty glad to see him gone. Now moving on to this next match, guys, we are playing in Division 1. I think we only need 1 point out of the remaining 2 matches that we have to not get relegated, essentially hold our place and get the cheeky 7,000 coins on top of it, which would be nice. This game doesn't start off well though. He goes up 1-0 with Martial, and then after that effort for Martial, he gets himself on the score sheet. Obviously, we kind of had all of the pressure. We're creating some decent chances. That's a pretty decent chance for Suarez. Maybe I should go for the low driven shot. And then Suarez does get another chance from a similar angle. This time he just about squeezes his shot between those 2 defenders. I'm not really sure how he got that one through. Both of those defenders stuck a leg out, but we got the shot away, which is very nice. And you guys can tell by the stats right there. If you look, we have 10 shots to his 3, and here we're going to get a little bit unlucky as we cut that back to Paulinho, and there it is, off the inside of the post. I mean, that one could have been going in if it's just inches more, a little bit more inside towards the goal. And then we hit the post yet again. Casemiro from distance. He does have decent long shots, but that one unfortunately also comes off with the woodwork. And then in the 90th minute, you hate to see these kind of things happen, and it is Overmars killing the game off from a pretty tight angle. I kind of wish Oblak would have shown his class right there and maybe kept that one out, but we do lose that one to 1. You saw we had more shots. We kind of had a little bit like more favorable stats, but we just couldn't edge this guy out. Now moving on to this last game, which is basically a must win / must draw. If anything other than that, we're going to get relegated, which would really suck. And unfortunately, this is the kind of team we come up against with Prime Hernandez, Prime Rui Costa. He's got Van Basten up there. I'm not really sure which version that one is. I think that one's like the medium Van Basten. And Van Basten actually almost scores right there. That one cannons off of the crossbar. And we were kind of like riding some early pressure in this one. I'm not going to lie. He's a little bit unlucky not to score some of these opportunities. Sane with a great effort right there. You've seen those go in. You saw in the last game from a very similar angle. Omar scored, and Overmars doesn't have like the greatest finishing. He finished from that angle. But we get a little bit of luck. After like riding this wave of pressure, that deflected effort does go in. You see right there, my opponent hits the post, and then we're on the ball here again. Suarez is going to hit that one towards Perisic, and Perisic is going to get a little decent skill goal. I don't do all that many skills anymore. I feel like skills is like really hard to pull off now, and it's kind of inefficient. Sometimes you end up losing the ball doing a skill, and it seems like every time you lose the ball when you do a skill, and on that counter, for some reason, everything seems to really go my opponent's way, and they score. And then in the 81st minute, he does pull one back with the Rashford, and have a look at this jammy goal. We win that tackle with the Varane. We win another tackle with the Varane, but Hernandez was really persistent and did not want to let that ball go, and he does equalize just minutes later after pulling one back. But after that, I'm like, you know what, there's no way. I kind of passed that ball around. I did not want to let this guy have an opportunity to get back in the game any more than he already did, and we just about managed to hold on to that point. It was a really dodgy end to Division 1, but we managed to not get relegated. So moving on to now the last SBC. This is another Daily Footmiss SBC for a mega pack, and this one I just packed it with Prem players. It was pretty easy. Prem players up top, La Liga players in the back. Easy 35k pack. We're going to take that all day. And also, we're going to redeem our weekend league rewards. Now, if you guys remember, I did manage to place gold 1 yet again. It's been a while since we've had elite. We've only had 1 elite. Other than that, they've all been gold 1s. I really hope to get elite a couple more times before the series is over, but guys, it is such a struggle. Nonetheless, we do get 50,000 coins and 2 100k packs, as well as this 35k pack to open first, kind of warm up the big ones. And we do get a boards player. It is a Spanish player. It is a right back, and they couldn't even give me Carvajal. It is Juan Fran, which, if you guys remember, I think this player is absolutely terrible. He feels so clumsy on the ball. I actually replaced him for DeMarcos in our La Liga team. But anyway, we are going to store all these guys, and having an 83 in the club is not bad, especially because these players are kind of going up and down in price every day, depending on the player SBCs that are released. So moving on to the next pack, guys, these are the big boys. These are the 100k packs, and in this first one, as soon as you see that Swiss flag, you know you're not getting anything great, and it is Berkey from Dortmund. So an 84 overall, though. I'll probably end up selling these guys because, like I said, I don't see myself doing many of these Footmiss SBCs. We're going to store all that. Umtiti as well, that's an easy sell, and we're going to discard the rest. Now moving on to finally this last 100k pack, and this is where we got just a shred of luck. It's not the greatest pack, but it is at least better than we've gotten in all this episode, and we are going to pack Marquisio, which if we would have packed him like a month ago, he would have been going for like 40 to 50,000 coins, but at this stage of FIFA, he's gone down in price significantly. I think he was worth like 12,000 coins or something like that, and then other than that, we're going to store the rest, quick sell the duplicates that aren't very high rated, and move on. And you guys see I did manage to sell some of the silvers that we packed earlier in the episode. We sold Marquisio there for 14,500 actually. He was worth a little bit more than I had anticipated. We have that bronze waiting to sell. And obviously you guys now know that the Prime Icon SBCs, which we invested in, did not happen. So it kind of sucks, but at the same time, it's not that big of a deal. I'm not going to panic sell my investments. I'm just going to wait another week. I'm sure Throwback Thursday's got to be next week. If not, I'd be really, really surprised. And maybe at that point, I'd start getting a little bit panicky. But we're going to hold on to our Bonucci's. We're going to hold on to our Pikas and see what happens. But that's going to be it for this episode, guys. I hope you're all enjoying the series. Please leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.